Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for checking out my channel. My name is Vince and today I'm going to show you how to make an industrial looking pantry with readily available materials you can buy from your local home center. All this coming up on Made by Us. If you're checking out my channel for the first time, I just want to say thanks and welcome. For those of you who have visited my channel before, I just want to say, wow, thanks for coming back. So earlier this year, I launched my YouTube channel by creating how-to videos on how we built furniture for my new office. We created a wall-mounted desk using butcher block countertops from IKEA, and a modular kitchen island on casters which can be separated for various situations. I even created a modern chimenea to help enjoy the outdoors over the summer months. If you haven't had a chance to watch any of these videos, I've added a playlist in the description. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or a thumbs down if you want. And if you feel so compelled, please subscribe to my channel. We'd love to have you. Okay, now let's get on with the build. Okay, so the materials you're going to need are 4-inch lag screws, 2x2 angle metal, and 2x12 lumber. All these are readily available at your local home store. The tools you'll need are an angle grinder with a flap disc, a circular saw, and a drill with a titanium bit. If you have an impact driver as well, it'll be a bonus, but definitely not necessary. So the angle metal comes kind of greasy and dirty from the store. The first tool I used was an angle grinder with a flap disc to clean up the metal. I could have also used a utility knife to help peel off the stickers. Now the stickers leave a sticky residue and the flap disc was a quick and easy way to get them off. The flap disc does a really good job of removing any scale, rust, and dirt from the metal. It also gives the metal a nice subtle brushed industrial look. I bought the angle metal from the stores in 6-foot lengths. You can cut these down to fit your space with a cutoff wheel on your angle grinder. My space needed something tall, so I kept them at this height. The next step was to remove any residual glue from the stickers with Goo Gone. Once I was done with that, I cleaned the metal by rubbing them down with some mineral spirits. Next, I laid out my lumber side by side and prepared to cut my shelves to their final length. I wanted my shelves to be the exact same size, so I used a speed square to make sure I was cutting a perfectly straight and square line across multiple pieces of lumber. When I was done, I had 4 shelves that were exactly the same size. The next step was to cut the notches in the shelves where the angle metal would go. It's important you take your time here to make sure the cuts are in exactly the same place on each shelf. So I clamped all 4 shelves together. Once I measured where I wanted the notches to go, I set the depth of my circular saw to go only as deep as the angle metal to ensure a snug fit. After I had all 4 notches marked out, I used my circular saw to cut out the notches. Now unfortunately my camera died when I cut the actual notches, so I'm going to jump ahead a little to show you what it should look like. What I did was take a few passes, each time just widening the notch a little bit until the angle metal fits snugly. The next day I took the shelves, metal, and lag screws for final assembly at our new office. Before assembling, I applied a coat of paste wax to the metal to give it just a little bit of protection. Next, I loosely fit all the pieces together on the floor, carefully making sure the spacing between the shelves were consistent from one to the next. Once I was satisfied with the position of the shelf, I secured it by drilling a hole in the metal with my titanium bit, drilled a pilot hole in the wood, and finally securing the lag screw. I worked from the bottom to the top until the entire side was secured. Once I was done with one side, Sam helped me flip it over and I repeated the entire process. By now you've probably noticed that the shelves are darker. I'll admit I hate sanding and finishing. Luckily my friend Joanne loves that process and was nice enough to sand them down and apply some walnut colored Danish oil on the shelves. Together we make a great team. Obviously you can customize at this point and choose a paint or stain that works for your space. Now that the pantry assembly was complete, it was time to move it to its final place. Now this piece is heavy, and the last thing you want is over 100 pounds of lumber and metal to topple over and crush someone. So please take your time to secure the pantry to the wall with an L bracket to keep those around you safe. Well, that's it for this build. It was pretty easy to make with minimal tools and off-the-shelf materials. I could have actually built this thing within a few hours if I didn't have to assemble it in my office. Well, thanks for watching, and please let me know what you think by leaving me a comment. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, blast me with a thumbs down. And hit those subscribe and notification buttons to see what I'm up to next. See you next time.